Hey there everybody, this is Tiger Eye Gaming and welcome back to episode 3 of my Minecraft 1.18 Caves and Cliffs Part 2 Let's Play. First off, apologies for the slight delay in videos between episode 2 and episode 3, this one, but I do want to say thank you for all the amazing support that I've been receiving so far. It really is very cool to be seeing all those super kind comments and all the likes and the views that my first 2 episodes are getting. It really does keep me motivated to keep on going with this series and in this world, and I really just do appreciate all your kind words. But with that all said, I think it's about time that we get started on what we want to accomplish this episode. And actually, the first thing that I want to do today is talk us all through what we did in between episodes. So first off, as you can see in my inventory, we are now the proud owners of 8 diamonds. Like I said at the end of last episode, I just kind of went down all these ladders here towards y equals 0 and then just tried to keep on digging down towards the lower parts of y equals negative 16 to y equals negative 64, and we went ahead and found 6 more diamonds. I'll go ahead and flash a couple clips of me getting those up on the screen right now. But yeah, the main reason why I wanted to reach this number of diamonds by this episode is that we now have enough diamonds to make both a diamond pickaxe and an enchanting table. So with that in mind, here we go. Gonna go ahead and put in the 2 sticks and the 3 diamonds. Boom. Diamond pickaxe created. There we go. Let's take a look. How are we looking? Very nice. It's not even shiny yet, but I'm liking that. I'm liking that upgrade. Okay. So actually... Alright, I only have 1 piece of obsidian. Quick jump cut while I go down there and mine a little bit more obsidian. Psych, I forgot we had a lava lake up here, and this is a lot easier to access because our house is literally just right over that hill. So I will go ahead and mine this, and we will be right back. Alright everyone, well after an obnoxiously long amount of time, we now have 14 pieces of obsidian, which is enough to make both an enchanting table and a nice little nether portal. But let's go ahead and get started with the enchanting table. So I will go ahead and click on the crafting table, craft up 3 pieces of paper and a piece of leather, which makes 1 book. And then we will go ahead and place down our obsidian, our book, and our diamonds to make an enchanting table. There we go. And I'll just go ahead and toss it down right there for now, as our little cat pops into view. Side note, I went ahead and looked at some of the comments with name suggestions for this guy, and it seemed like the most popular option was actually Frank. And you know what? I kind of like that name. Frank. We don't have any name tags yet, at least I don't think we do. There could be one buried in here somewhere. But for now, his name will just have to be Frank unofficially. As soon as we get a name tag though, I'll go ahead and officially christen him in as Frank. For now though, he can just go ahead and chill there, old blue eyes. But yeah, as you can see right here, we now officially have an enchanting table. Now, unfortunately, I haven't quite managed to breed our cows in our little pen just over yonder quite enough yet to the point where we can have a level 30 setup with bookshelves, but I do think it might be worth it to just toss a few lower level enchantments on some of these iron tools we got. Like for example, efficiency 2 on an iron shovel. That's pretty handy, especially in the early game. You know, even if it's not necessarily game changing, it's a nice little improvement, right? Makes mining things a little bit quicker, a little bit easier. So I think it might be worth going ahead and doing that. Now, I also think it might make sense to potentially toss an enchantment on a piece of our armor, maybe like an iron helmet or iron boots, something like that. It looks like, okay, so it looks like we have a different enchantment for the boots and for the helmet. For the boots, we get fire protection 1, blast protection 1, or just protection 1. And for the helmet, I see unbreaking, protection, and unbreaking. Okay, so you know what? I think I'm going to go ahead and cycle through some of our armor and some of our tools just to see what the different enchanting options are. And then once I find a few things that I like, we can go ahead and put some lower level enchantments on our stuff. Alright, well I think I've made my first decision in terms of what to enchant. Since my boots are looking pretty good in terms of durability, while things like my helmet, and especially my chestplate and my leggings are looking a little bit worse for wear, I'm going to go ahead and just toss a simple little protection onto these boots. I'm thinking I'll go for blast protection because creepers are still one of the things I'm most worried about. So there we go, blast protection 1, and we officially have the enchanter achievement. There we go. Now let's go ahead and see what else we have on enchantments. Okay, you know what? I think I'm going to go ahead and just stick with this efficiency 2 enchantment on an axe. I know this one's more than half gone, but you know what? I do need to chop a few more trees down, so I'll go ahead and just use that up. And perfect. Efficiency 2. And you know what? I think I might go ahead and stick with that for now, because our cow ranks are slowly but surely growing. And you know what? It might just take another few days or so, in-game at least, to get to a level 30 enchanting setup. So for now, I think we're good. We're at level 26. We should be able to reach that again without too much issue, so we can hopefully get that super, super important early game enchantment, Fortune 3 on our diamond pickaxe. Or on the iron pickaxe, to be fair. Could be either one. But alright everyone, now that we have some enchantments going on some of our gear, and we're at level 26, I think now's a good time to start making a couple of improvements on the house that I've been meaning to do. Now, if you remember last episode, after I constructed this balcony, I asked for suggestions in the comments about what to do with this little area down here, since it was a little bit plain and I figured there was something we could probably do with it. I actually saw a few good suggestions, and I'm going to use two of them and kind of combine them to make this area a little bit prettier. What I want to do is, firstly, place a bunch of glass in between the wall and these support beams, as well as between these two support beams, just to kind of make an enclosed greenhouse in here. I think that would look good. I don't really have any super specific plans for the greenhouse yet. For now, it might just be as simple as bone mealing the ground. But you know, over time that can evolve, and I just think bone mealing in the ground always makes stuff look a little bit better. Adding a little bit greenery always improves the way something looks in Minecraft. So that's the first step. We're going to make a little greenhouse in this area between these support beams and the wall right here. And then the second step is actually going to be breaking down this wall into the kind of basement that we accidentally formed with our floor up here. I think that a great idea for what to do with this little area down here is to convert it into a storage area of sorts. That was another one of the comments I saw in last episode, and I think that makes a whole lot of sense. I always typically tend to have a bulk storage area in my worlds, just for items really that we happen to have a lot of, so just tossing in a few chests here alongside the walls. I don't even really want to terraform it much. I kind of want to keep this natural look that we got going on, so I probably won't try to level it out too much. But yeah, I'll just toss a few chests along the walls, you know, stuff like that, and then I'll have it open to this little area out here, which will be a greenhouse. So yeah, I think that is the next step that we're going to take. And you know what? Normally, this might be the time where I tell you all to prepare for some time-lapse music as we get into a building montage, but I think I'm actually going to do this with some live commentary over it. Partially because I just want a little bit of variety, but partially because I also got a comment in one of my first two episodes asking if I could do a building session with some more commentary over it. So you know what? I think that sounds like a good idea. A little bit of variety in time lapses is always appreciated, and you know what? I like to make the people happy. So I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to do a little bit of live commentary, and I'm also going to talk about my experience mining in between episodes and kind of what I thought about it, because as I'm sure you all expect, the mining experience in 1.18 really is a lot different from the mining experience in any of the updates beforehand. So yeah, I think that's the plan. First thing I need to do is just gather a little bit of glass. Yep, I'm at 2 pieces of glass right now, so I think we got to work on that a bit. Although, ooh, glass panes could look good. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and test this in a creative world. I'll go collect some sand, either use glass or glass panes, and we will get started on that little greenhouse and storage area down there. Alright everyone, I've gone ahead and crafted up a whole bunch of glass panes. I decided to go with those instead of just glass blocks because I thought it looked better. I've also crafted up a few doors, some oak stairs, and I also have some chests right over here for once we cave in the wall down there. So yeah, I think it's just about time to get going. But yeah, like I said, the main thing that I wanted to talk a little bit about right now was my experience caving in between this episode and the last. So, like I said, I was mainly looking for diamonds. So what I did was, once I went down our little hole that we've dug down there, I just tried to get down lower in the world. Anywhere beyond kind of like y equals -16 or so. That's where I was mostly looking to go, so that we'd have a better chance of finding diamonds. Already misplaced one piece of glass. Great. I think we're probably just going to have enough. At least enough that I've crafted to finish this. But yeah, once I got down to that level, below y equals 16, I have kind of mixed feelings on what I found. For one thing, I do think, at least in the early game, it seemed like it's going to be a really good idea to just explore the caves down there in order to find ores. In the past, where I might have already constructed some kind of strip mine or branch mine by now, I actually don't think that's really necessary in Minecraft 1.18. Ouch. Oh, where's my shield? Oh, alright, let me run up here instead of getting shot. Where did my shield go? Oh, this man is fast. Okay. Hold on, am I just blind? Oh, there it is. Sorry, guys. That one's on me. But anyway, as I was saying before I was very rudely interrupted. Oh. Where'd he go? Are you down here? Yes, you are. Okay. But yeah, as I was saying, I do think the meta has changed a little bit, especially for early game mining in Minecraft 1.18. In the past, I was always a big proponent of constructing strip mines pretty early on in your worlds, because I just thought that was a great way to get lots of different types of resources that you can find down there. It was a good way to find some coal, iron, gold, diamonds, lapis, and redstone, all 5 of those. But now, sorry, just making sure he doesn't hit me. But yeah, now that mining is a little bit more strategic and different ores spawn in at different heights, I think that strategy has changed a little bit. I think, especially if you're looking for diamonds in the early game, before you kind of have a diamond pickaxe with efficiency 5 or a netherite pickaxe with efficiency 5 and can make those strip mines a little bit easier, I think it makes a lot more sense to just explore those enormous caves down there, because given their enormous size, you end up having a whole lot of deep slate blocks exposed, which is also going to lead you to a whole bunch of ores generating in that deep slate. Now, an underrated difference between every other update and this one is that when you're down there, it's actually pretty easy to run out of torches. I brought an entire stack of coal. I believe that's actually all we had, because I don't think there's any more in our chests, although I could be wrong. But I actually used up every single bit of my coal, and I had to head back once we ran out of it. In the past, when I would be down caving, you know, in the mines back before they changed the ore distribution, if I needed more coal when I was down in the mines, I would just mine it, and that way all you really need to do is just take a stack of wood, and that way you can turn it into sticks, and you can find coal down in the mines while you're there. But now, that's a lot different, and low-key, I do think that's a big change. Even though they did make that change, where monsters will now only spawn in at y equals 0 instead of y equals 7, or excuse me, light level 0 instead of light level 7, I still like to light stuff up. Maybe it's just it's partially personal preference, but it also looks better for YouTube videos, so I still do like lighting stuff up. It also helps me remember where I've been in the caves. But yeah, now I really think you need to come prepared with a whole lot more coal. Now, it seems like the move to do is just bring a whole stack of coal blocks along with maybe a stack of wood. And that way, once you need some coal, all you have to do is go to your inventory, take one of those coal blocks and right-click here, and boom, you'll have 9 coal pieces easily stored, so you don't have to waste too much inventory space on bringing coal along. That way, everything can stay nicely lit up, and that way you'll have lots of inventory space for all the different ores and blocks that you'll find down there. Another thing that I wanted to touch on about this update was actually the incredibly big difference it makes that mobs now only spawn in at light level 0 instead of light level 7. I have to admit, in general, I think I have mixed feelings about this. On the one hand, I do appreciate that the change makes it a whole lot more doable to actually go caving now, because given the massive size of these caves, if the level that mobs could spawn in at was still light level 7, I think you'd just be seeing mobs everywhere, and I think it would legitimately be a little bit impossible to actually explore those caves. However, I'm worried that this change might actually have gone too far in the other direction and, in fact, makes mobs spawn too infrequently down there. I mainly say this because, honestly, when I was down there right now, having a little bit of that area be lit up, you know, nothing too extraordinary, but having placed a few torches down in the first episode, I really found that not too many mobs were spawning, especially in the areas that were even moderately lit up from that episode 1. I did find that in the new areas, you would occasionally find a pack of a few creepers or a few skeletons, and that was worrying, you know, it was a little bit dangerous. But in general, I really didn't feel like it was all that dangerous caving, which honestly I kind of am disappointed by. I really think that, especially given how this update is, you know, caves and cliffs, caves being the main part of it, I really think that it should feel a little bit more terrifying when you're down there in the mines. I think it should be an experience where you're kind of having to look behind you at all times, at least in areas that you haven't explored too much before. That also might partially be related to the fact that the warden wasn't actually included in this update, and, you know, I don't want to criticize that too much, since that was really done to prioritize the warden and the deep dark actually being given the proper time. However, it is a little bit disappointing when you go down there and you don't feel that same sense of danger that maybe even past versions of Minecraft had. That being said, I might be overstating it a little bit. I do want to get a little bit more experience before I can fully get my thoughts down about the caves, because they are still frightening, especially when you're down there for the first time and nothing's been lit up. Well, when the only stuff that's at all bright down there is a little bit of glow lichen and some lava pockets. I just found that when I was looking for those extra diamonds before the start of this episode, I spent about an hour down there, and really, I didn't come close to dying at all. Maybe that's because I do have this nice armor and, decent iron weapons, but in general, I do think, I don't know, it's a tough balance to strike, having there not be too many mobs down there in those caves, and having there be too few mobs. Although, to be fair, there is another alternative. It is always possible that I am just too good at this game. Those mobs can't deal with me. Creepers? Nah. Can't do nothing to me. Skeletons? Nah, no biggie. I got my shield. I'm good. Oh, this is actually almost broken. That's good to know. I should probably repair that soon. It feels like I'm tempting fate by saying that I'm too good, but who knows? Maybe it's just true. No, I am kidding, of course, but do go ahead and let me know what you think about these caves in the comments, because I know in the first episode I did talk a lot about how they are pretty intimidating and kind of scary, but I don't know, my experience in between last episode and this one, it felt a little bit different. Maybe it was just because I have a bit more experience with them. Maybe, like I said before, it was just because I had lit up parts of that area, so there weren't nearly as many available spaces for mobs to spawn in. Who knows? What do you think, Frank? Alright, Frank's busy. He'll get back to me on that. But yeah, let me know what you think about those caves down in the comments below. And for now, I think we're just about done beautifying our little area down there. The last remaining thing that I had wanted to do... Oh, there it is, bone meal. Yeah. Another thing I need to do is sort these chests. This always happens early on in my Minecraft worlds. I never get around to sorting my chests early on, and then I have to make a big deal of it later. But okay, I think the last remaining thing we're going to do is just toss a bit of bone meal down for now. I am looking to make this a more formal greenhouse later on. Maybe do some little flower beds, with that trick where you place down some grass blocks, or rather you place down some dirt blocks, and then you put trapdoors on the sides, or maybe I'll have some flower pots, something like that. But for now, I think we're going to keep it real simple, and literally just right-click with bone meal. Boom, and we will do the little trick where you do that and then take down the tall grass, because tall grass is the worst. Okay, we got some nice new flowers down here. And do I want one more? Yeah, let's do one more in the corner. Okay. Well, I'm liking that. Okay. You know what? That's a decent start. I think I will also pop up here and grab some leaves. Or... Oh no, I already grabbed the leaves. I was ready for this. Yeah, I might have said this already in this series, but I think it bears repeating. Leaves always make stuff look better. Seriously, if you're ever looking for like just a little decorative item that can make some kind of build look a little bit better, leaves are always the answer. They always do it. They never don't make something look better in this game. So let's just go ahead and pop some down on this corner right here. And is that good? I'm gonna put one more there, a little taller, and boom. Okay, let's get a good vantage point from down here, and... Alright, I'm not really liking that pile right there, but in general, I am liking how that looks. I do think the glass panes were a good choice over the glass blocks, and I like that kind of principle of having a little... You can think of it as a greenhouse, you can think of it as like a little... Oh god, I don't know, a patio with a covering on it? Whatever you want to call it, I still think it looks good. I'm pretty pleased with this. Alright all, that was a little bit rambly, but hopefully you all still enjoyed. TLDR, in the new 1.18 caves, it seems to me like, especially in the early game, the best way to get a whole bunch of ores is just to explore. Explore those huge new caves with all that exposed stone, because that amount, that volume of exposed stone is really likely to give you a whole bunch of ores that you're searching for. The second part of that TLDR is probably that I have mixed feelings about the number of mobs that spawn down there. It may just have been that I lit up the area pretty well last time I was down there, so I didn't see nearly as many mobs, but I don't know, it's tough. I feel like I wasn't nearly as scared this time, and who knows, maybe that's a good thing, maybe I just prepared better. It also might have something to do with the light level, or maybe the mob cap. Maybe they were all just spawning in dark spots that I hadn't gone to yet. I don't know. Mixed feelings overall, but I am still very, very much enjoying the variety and the difference between well, how the caves used to look before this update, and how they look now. But alright everyone, I think that's going to take us to the end of this episode. We've accomplished a good amount today, even if we didn't have a super concrete plan at the start. Whether it was crafting up our diamond pickaxe and our enchanting table, or whether it was working on this area down here, our little greenhouse and storage area. If you have any additional suggestions for this, especially for the greenhouse area, please do let me know down in the comments below. If there's one more thing that I can mention before this video is over, please do consider subscribing, liking, and commenting if you've enjoyed this video, particularly subscribing. I'll go ahead and flash a little graphic on screen right here, but so far, a large percentage of people who've watched my videos, and the watch hours that I've gotten from them, have actually been from people who aren't subscribed. So please do me a favor, and if you've enjoyed this video, do subscribe. We're getting closer and closer to that huge number of 1,000 subscribers, which is really going to be big for this channel in multiple ways. That's one of the numbers that enables you to add AdSense on a channel, which means that I could potentially make at least a little bit of money from this channel, which would be amazing. And, more importantly at this stage, it also just ensures that more people are going to be able to view my videos. The more people who watch, the more often they're recommended, and that means that we can grow this channel more and more in the future. But yeah, with that all said, thank you all for the support you have given me, thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you in the next episode soon.